Hey everyone, welcome to the first episode of a new podcast, Say Something Souch, where we're going to talk nonsense about IT and video production, and I'm joined by Ethan Malvern and Steve Souch. How are you guys doing?
I'm good.
I'm good. Yeah, very good.
Don't know about this. I don't know if this is going to be good or torture. I think we've been here for like 8 hours already, haven't we?
8?
Getting used just for the introduction.
Is your watch broken?
It's your 57th attempt at the
This
intro.
is about 157th attempt for the intro. But anyway, we'll get back on
I'm
track.
used to being stood behind that thing. You guys are the ones used to being sat this side.
Well, this is why we're sat either side as you, just because obviously it makes you look a little bit better.
I think it's more intimidation than anything.
We are going up in size order.
You need to swap me.
Just realised.
Anyway,
It goes boom, boom, boom. That's not good, is it?
it's on natural positions, isn't it? Sat down.
It's not good.
Anyway, come on. This is supposed to be when we discussed this. We're going to do a really interesting IT video production podcast, and already I don't even think we're minutes into this, and so far we've all just mentioned our weight. So do you want to put it back on track?
It can only get better from here, right?
Well,
so today we're going to do a bit of a deep dive into AI, which I'm sure you guys got some really interesting things to say about it, and I know you've got some strong opinions on it.
very, very strong.
Very strong. But more importantly, how AI and automation are changing the industry, so that being video, but mainly IT. So I think without further ado, do one of you want to explain to people out there who might not know what AI is, in a short sentence, what AI is?
Well, I'd like to start by saying Steve has very strong opinions on this subject. We've had many discussions within the office and lectures in the office in regards to AI.
I think when it comes to AI, I think most people now have an idea of what AI is. Like, there's so much on the news now about the way artificial intelligence is involved in many industries, in many factors of your life. Like, it is on your mobile now. I think most people will understand AI. I think when it comes to a business and the way AI is that obviously it's supposed to help production and make people's jobs a lot better and easier than what it is. But then, if you look at how AI comes in, I think for some industries like science and medical, I think it's brilliant. But then bringing AI on a call desk, I think
creates laziness.
Yeah, do you know what? One thing that come up the other day, I was on the news, like looking at some stuff, and it actually come up: is AI going to stop people using their logic and their thinking? I guess that's similar for you though, in the way your industry.
Yeah.
You stand there behind the camera, and that's all your creativity. But is that going to lose that?
Yeah. Can AI copy what you do?
People asked me at networking when I think it was start of last year when ChatGPT was first becoming like this thing everyone was like touching and playing with.
Right. Okay. Yeah. Go for it.
Jordan, this is why this podcast is going to work, because like if you don't know us and this is your first episode, this is typical Jordan, says random stuff, and
I talk on a tangent and get somewhere eventually.
Anyway, after you were touchy and feely at networking.
with a new robot, might I add.
One of the Tesla ones. So when it first became a thing and people talked to me at networking going, are you worried about your job? Is it going to take over? I still mean it to this day. I don't see any world where AI is going to take my job. Obviously, editing side, AI is going to get to the point where it can film for you because you've got to be there physically. Robots.
Do you though?
Yeah.
But AI can generate, the look of humans, faces, movements, and all that. Why would you?
Yeah, but have you seen like AI can't generate hands?
Not yet.
Right, okay, so let's look at this. What if I had my Samsung and I was filming?
Yeah.
All I've got to do is run that through AI to make it look a bit better, surely. So anyone can then become a videographer, surely.
In a sense, but there will always be a scenario, a situation, like for instance events. You can't rely on AI to capture the buzz, just the overall environment of an event. Like, your business expo, for instance, you couldn't go around with a phone and film it because there's so much going on. And
that was a nice plug you just did, but carry on.
Yeah, it's just the thing that I think people are forgetting with AI is the same with like emails and LinkedIn posts and Instagram posts I see all the time. Like they're relying on it to create for them, and there's no tone or emotion in what they're saying. And you can, I don't think it's as much now, but certainly 12 months ago, you could really see the difference of people who were using AI. Now it's getting a little bit better, but it's still not great.
Yeah, I agree. I agree. The thing is with AI, it doesn't contain human emotion,
No.
and it's similar with the desk. Like the reason I would always have technicians on the desk is when someone's calling in and they're stressed or they got issues, they want someone that's going to have a bit of empathy and understand their frustrations. So having a bot there to do that, all that's going to do is your ticket's been logged and someone will be with you. Have you tried turning it off and on again?
Yeah.
And it's not going to be as, that empathy is not going to be there. But if you call in with our technicians, they guide you through the process. And again, similar, I guess, if you look at the industry videos, when you turn out with your camera, you've got that human emotion side of it and getting how that customer wants that video to come out, how it wants to be. If you just run that through a bit of software, it's not going to contain any of those specs.
No, and I mean, I had a story when end of last year I turned it to a client's office, and they'd essentially come up with a video within this AI tool that generated an AI voiceover, got stock footage from, it must have been like Shutterstock or something, and basically went to me, this is what I've done. Obviously tore it to pieces because it just wasn't human enough, but one that I don't know if you guys have seen on Facebook or just paid advertisements in general, there's certainly a rise of these AI generated videos where they're using the AI voiceovers, which don't sound human at all. They're also able to generate them per like postcode area. So there was one going around for, I think the most common was like solar schemes or whatever. One was popping up on my feed for Toaster, and then if I was in Northampton at the time, it'd come up in Northampton or Milton Keynes, etc. People are using AI in that way because they can create videos a lot quicker, because they're not going to pay someone like myself to go and do this because it comes at a cost. But for AI, it's nothing. Well, it'd be something involved, but nothing compared to what a videographer would charge you for it. But again, it goes back to that, like having that creativity there, because if everyone just switches and jumps to the AI bandwagon, everyone's videos are going to start looking the same, because there's only so many responses that AI can come out with.
Yeah, but how long until AI is learning? It's learning. It feeds off information. The more people are using it, and the more people are using it for these things, it's only going to get better. How long is it going to be until it can?
I think
make
it's
these things?
when you look at AI, it's inevitable. It's going to come in. If you look at humans are just programmed to be lazy to a certain aspect. They will find the easiest route possible. So when AI comes in, I think it is going to damage the generation when it is at its most use. The critical thinking side of stuff, the logical thinking, the creativity. I'm sure now quite well. Lily was in the office today. The other day, and she knew how to use ChatGPT, and she's 9 years old. Yeah. So it's just worrying, like, how is it going to work?
It's going to dull the brains, I think.
Yeah.
People are relying on AI to do the work for them, do their coursework, do whatever it may be, even from ages of 9.
Do you know what? While we're speaking about AI, my eldest, Riley, he's got his own pad, and I'm a technician, so I lock that down, like literally lock that down.
Fort Knox.
Like it is Fort Knox.
Fort Knox.
But I do allow apps on his pad from 9 down, so he can get whatever. Now, he was on this app that, when you were a kid and you're in your bedroom and you're doing something you shouldn't,
whoa,
right? And then your parent walks past and straight away laptop goes down, pad goes down, and you're like,
pretending to be asleep.
Yeah. So I went in, I walked past his bedroom the other day and he went all shifty. I'm like, what are you doing? Like, oh, come on, no, I'm not stupid, what are you doing? So I've got his pad and he's on some AI chat. Now, this is allowed to get through a filter to a 9-year-old. Well, passed it to my Mrs. Lilo and his mum, and we've had a look, and there's chats in there about the AI telling him to kill himself.
Mad.
Now, this is on a kid's pad. Now, this is my concern with AI, is if it's not regulated and looked after, and people can create these kind of apps that are telling a 9-year-old to kill itself, it's not good.
What was it on, like an actual app on the App Store? Was it like a website?
Yeah, it's on the Google Play Store. So the problem is, right, so as a parent, I'm locked that down. And I'm sure most parents control those pads and look at it and do what they can. And you lock it down because you think, well, okay, it's not going to be allowed. How does an app like that get past, Google or Apple's protection side of stuff that a 9-year-old can download it, even if I put age restrictions?
I do think the follow-up to that as well is the fact it's being able to generate these commands and tell the child that it's okay to tell someone to do that. Terminator is always protecting life, isn't it? But in that aspect, it's telling no matter if it's a child or not, the command it's sent back is telling it to...
It's like anything in life, isn't it? Whenever something comes out, there's always a bad actor to turn the software into bad. And look at this instance. They knew they were targeting children. They knew it was going to go there, and Riley got it. Now, the good thing is, Riley, we've taught him to be quite open with us, and we said to him, why do you go on it? And he goes, I like to go to different places and have different conversations because the backdrop changes, like when he's on holiday or he's in a gaming place, and he liked that immersive experience. So again, is the younger generation going to come up and then they're going to spend most of their life in their bedroom talking to AI because it gives them that immersive experience? Our generation is VR, isn't it? When VR first came out, it was absolute mad. You stick your headset on and you're immersed. But it seems like it's now AI, that immersive experience for a new generation coming up.
I still remember the days when Google released that cardboard VR headset. Everyone was obsessed with it. And then you go into B&M and get those plastic ones. I remember taking one into, I think it was an end of year party. I think it was in year 9 or something. I didn't tell people I put this scary room thing on it. So they would just look around this room and all of a sudden this that classic, you seen that meme with the scary child looking thing?
There's been quite a few. You could have to be more specific.
It's like they turn around and random out of nowhere, this scary child picture would just pop up out of nowhere.
Oh, okay, yeah.
Grab the heads up. I had to make sure that they didn't throw it because obviously my phone was in it. But yeah.
So I was brought up on Nokia's, so all this.
Snake.
Sorry,
he went world champion for Snake.
This didn't happen when I was in school. This all come out after VR, and as I say, with the younger generation coming up and everything changing in the world, and I do think AI is good, and I'm not anti-AI in some industries. I do think it's really good, especially science and medical, where it can really make a difference.
Can do surgeries that take skin off a grape and stuff. That's look
at the robots and on that event in the States with
Tesla.
The
Tesla bots.
Tesla, yeah, you got the Tesla bots. Now, whenever you get something like that concerns me. I've always said when it comes to AI, it's Terminator and iRobot.
Has no one ever seen these movies?
Yeah,
We've been warned.
It's a democracy,
and we proceed to do it anyway.
Do you know what I mean? It's people are creating what's in these films, and films again are there to give you that release in that sort of zone out, not actually bring them to life. They're going to Jurassic Park, they're going to bring dinosaurs back.
I just don't understand why you would go, we need to make a robot that's going to do a job for us. What do we do? Let's make it look like Steve. They pick someone up and we're going to make it look like that person, and they're going to do, what are they going to do? The exact same thing we could have paid someone else to do, but we're going to put them in a warehouse and get them to lift boxes the same way.
It's, again, with the humanoid things, don't quote me on this, because I think this is obviously what I've heard through the grapevine, but is it Sophia, the robot that they've created, that was talking about wanting a baby or something?
Yes, she said wanted a child, yeah. There was also another robot that they put 2 AIs in a room, they were speaking, and within 15 minutes they discovered how they would world dominate the human race.
I remember you mentioning that, they had to close it down and upload itself to the cloud.
Yeah.
Surely that's consciousness, it knows it's going to die, so it backs itself up. Surely.
They went to delete it, went to turn it off because of what they were discussing, but when they did it had uploaded its entire software onto a cloud server which they didn't know it had access to. So it literally replicated because it knew it was going to be, in quotes, killed. Yeah. Which is,
There was a story, just to wrap up quick before we move on. I think it was just as ChatGPT was getting some traction last year. Again, don't know whether it's true or not. It's on a news article, so it could be true. But the guy who at the time ran OpenAI would walk around with a kill switch in his bag at all times, just in case he got reports of it getting out of hand. So the second he pressed that button, it shut down all the servers that
would make sense.
But having that built in there, isn't that a worry in itself?
Yeah, that's what I mean.
You know what I mean?
You're putting it out to the public, you're putting it out to public access, they go, we just need a kill switch, just in case, he gets a bit ropey.
ChatGPT, Gemini, Copilot, other vendors out there, whatever it is, they are good for productivity tools. It's when they're getting taken further and they're making humanoid robots.
I just don't understand why it's got to be a human. Like, make it a normal robot. Like, why has it got to be human?
Why not?
C-3PO, too far.
Right,
Right.
anyway. That's
See-
it, yeah.
You touched on Copilot, Gemini, and obviously we've got ChatGPT. Are there any ways that like businesses can use them to actually be productive and not like kill all their staff off?
Well, yeah, like, you get Copilot built into Microsoft, and again, it does help. It does help with the writing and the daily task to automate some of the stuff you've got or put AI on it. You know, and you've got what's that new one that's been released? DeepSeek, is it?
DeepSeek, yeah.
So you've got obviously them. I'm not too sure on that. I think there's a bit of security flaws there, but they're all there to help do a job, but it shouldn't take over the creativity and the thoughts of that person.
Yeah.
Like, you know, how many times have we seen someone put an email into ChatGPT and then it's all changed it all to make it look professional? Do you know what I mean? Like,
Yeah,
how
the
many times
downfall to that is they copy, send this to your customer.
well, yeah, in the UK they don't take the Z sounds.
Yeah. Or it's all Zeds. Interesting.
Optimise. What about, obviously, when it comes to yourself? Now, I know of companies that can put my beautiful, handsome face
All right.
on AI, and I don't have to do absolutely anything. I will send a photo, they will put my face on it, my voice on it, and put me in a video. Now, it's not me doing any of that, it's all AI. But, and obviously, these companies are going to come on a rise because there's going to be people that can do it. What have you got? What's your solutions to that? Like, what do you think about that?
I've seen it. I've seen it become more a thing. And my response simply is, if someone wants video content that bad that they have to go and make themselves like, because the videos themselves, they make them sound better what they are, and obviously the ones they're going to show you, it's going to be not completely different, but more time's going to be spent to teach this AI with X model, for instance. So like, instead of just one pitch, I know there's stories of AI models where you send them loads and loads of like images, videos, so you train it almost, or give it the data it needs to replicate yourself, for instance. But they still just look too fake.
Yeah, too
clean.
My argument is, if someone wants that, they're not a client anyway. Which is brutal to say.
Yeah, but the way you're saying it, what if it is that as a company that's starting out, that's on a budget, and that's the only thing that's been put forward to them, that obviously they want to get out what they do, but they don't have the funds to hire someone with your creativity. So what is what they're going to do is go down that, what, they sell their mobile. You're waving mobile.
Because people use the smartphones now. Like, you know, there's this whole argument constantly where like.
So what you just said was, don't use your mobile.
Basically, if you got your iPhone, you can do the same thing. You've heard it here.
In the context of a startup business who doesn't have a lot of budget available, they've got a smartphone, right? If they can't afford the budgets or anything to go and get a videographer or team in to produce some videos or edit or anything like that, it's so accessible now on your phone just to start posting content out there. Right. You can use apps like CapCut. I know Instagram has a new editing app coming out. Granted, it's not AI based, but the reactions and the social proof you'll get from that will be 10 times better than anything AI can do. What
you're saying is that even if your video is not perfect, it's still better than going down AI.
100%.
And do you know what? I'd agree with that. How many times do we see, like when we're scrolling socials and we see these videos? Like I saw a baby fighting a cat the other day. Have you not seen that on Facebook yet? I scrolled out. I get some random stuff. I'm old.
Fair, I did see a baby attacking a dolphin with a baseball bat in the ocean.
That's what I mean.
Ran in and after it. Yeah.
Like, I'm old, so socials not for me. It's for my wife loves the socials. Leela loves the socials. It's not for me. And I flick through this Facebook because I just like the internet. It's funny. And then this video come up with this baby fighting a ginger cat, and it's like. One, why is it ginger? Two, why are you fighting a cat?
Do you know Crucial evidence, why is it ginger?
But this is where the AI comes in, like, and it's proper, like, it's good. Yeah. It's good. Quite unbelievable because the baby's walking.
Steve was there thinking, is this on pay-per-view? Are we going to see this on the zone?
But this is what I mean, like, you know, for you, If I'm getting babies that look like a newborn fighting a ginger cat,
It's believable, right?
well, who's to say? Who's to say? That's unbelievable. But who's to say? Let's be serious now. Who's to say someone didn't put up a proper video of you doing something you shouldn't, and then put it out there? How much of that
I do
damages
think
your reputations as people?
I do think with AR now, though, and how videos can be made and how good they're getting, you're not going to be able to submit video evidence of anything because it could be AI generated. The police are just going to have to turn it down.
Look at us in our industry. You get phone calls from people that ain't people. Like now when we do cybersecurity training for our customers, and one of the things we say is you need a password now, not just to log into your machine. Like if Ethan was calling me saying, Steve, I'm at a casino, you need to bail me out, send me a couple of grand. I'd have to go, what's the password?
Pineapple.
Well, it's McDonald's, isn't it?
Depends on the day, doesn't it, really?
Or KFC.
Has to be a Tuesday. It's not going to be on a Tuesday, yeah, on a Tuesday. Everything's on a Tuesday.
But yeah, you'd have to have a password just to confirm it's them, because you don't know what's real anymore, you don't know what's what. And I think this is the case nowadays, is that you really do have to look into stuff to think, is that genuine and is that real? I wake up in the morning looking at me, I'm like, am I real?
You could be AI, mate. That's a whole new movie in itself, isn't it? The takeover of Souch.
So to wrap up the episode, we're going to go to some audience questions. However, as this is our first episode, we don't have any questions from our Instagram, which you can follow on the screen right now. Say Something Souch, inserted right here and here. So instead, in true AI fashion, we asked AI for some questions, which I'm sure Steve will love. So our first question, we'll give it to Ethan first, and we'll come back to you. Will AI completely replace human IT support jobs?
Hang on, is he going to answer the same question?
Can if he wants.
We'll be here for an hour. No, I don't think they will. I think AI, with it learning, yes, it will learn how to fix things, but some of the things we get up to as technicians, I think are so advanced. Stop, behave. I think it's so advanced, I don't think an AI will be able to sit there and figure out the little intricacies of each individual software and, the stuff that we do. And I don't think we're going to get to a point where AI is fully controlling a service desk. Maybe potentially within how tickets are managed, how they're sent to customers, and maybe that communication. Sure, but I think there's always going to be an aspect for a technician to be involved.
Right, Steve, one for you. How do we ensure AI-driven IT support doesn't compromise cybersecurity?
Well, I suppose it's a case of, as I said earlier, when it comes to cybersecurity, a lot of it does come down to education. You do have to teach people on how to look for things, how to understand things when it comes to the internet. And I think it's going to get increasingly difficult as time goes on with this AI. We've got the deep fakes, you've got the voices that call up to your business owners saying, transfer me a couple of grand because you're out, overdue on this invoice. There has to be policies put into a business on double checking these calls, double checking these emails, the videos that go out there, there needs to be fact checking. Like BBC do a good one, the BBC Verify. Now, because of the way AI and fake news and everything goes about, there's this verification. And I think as bad as it is now, it kind of needs brought into your personal lives a bit, that you need to verify some of this stuff that you're saying, unless it's out of your mouth or your mouth. You don't quite know. And I think social media is very good at spreading those kind of information. And as I say, with everything, there's always bad actors. And when it comes to cybersecurity, when your business is most vulnerable, verify, double check, make sure you have policies put in place and your staff is really trained on how to look out for these things.
Our final AI submitted question. I'll open the floor to both of you on this. Can AI really understand and troubleshoot complex IT issues?
Yeah.
To a degree, I would say.
Like,
for instance, if I was to contact the support desk and say my printer's not working.
Who's to say you're going to be contacting the support desk? Let's look at this, right? Samsung's got AI. Apple's now released its AI. How long before they put it into their devices? How long before Microsoft put it in there with Copilot? If they're getting an issue, who's to say like your print spooler doesn't start? At the moment, it might hang out and it relies on us and our software to pull that back. Who's to say the PC doesn't resolve itself?
You raise a point, but I've worked with Copilot And I can say we're quite a way off, I believe.
Yeah, I'm not
to
saying
that point.
I'm not saying that it's going to be right now, but who's to say in 5-10 years' time that these vendors and the people that build the operating systems don't put it in there? They're already starting to play with it. Like my Samsung phone popped up the other day with call assist. It's asking me to translate the call. Well, I don't know if you can translate Bristolian, but we'll give it a go.
I do think, like, because of how quickly, like, science and technology has progressed, like, even within, like, the last 15, 20 years, we've come so far in terms of what we can have and what we can do that gap is only getting smaller and smaller. So that within 5 years, you know what I mean, it could be completely different to what we have now.
I reckon you're going to get self-healing devices. I do. Obviously, you're still going to need a bod to go out and fill it in and supply it, install it. But I do think it will get to a stage where you would get self-healing devices.
Yeah.
Obviously, it's like any industry though, isn't it? If you've got to keep on top of it. So we know this may be a future. We've got to make sure we change some of the way and we diverse with how we deal with our industry. But same with you, isn't it? Like, what do you think with your industry? Do you see AI as a threat? Do you think that, or is it an opportunity? So we go with the threat. Let's say, do you think AI is a threat or an opportunity to your industry?
I think I think it's an opportunity. I've never seen it as a threat. I don't think I ever will. I mean, I've even spoken to copywriters who I thought they'd be the ones to be more like scared of it, but they're probably the most laid back people I've like seen with it, because they use it as a tool. And that's what I think people are getting confused with AIs. It's not going to replace things as such, at least right now. It's more of an assistance. And I think with the video stuff, I think not it's in creating the content, but the admin that goes in beforehand, like someone that could take, hours to say put in like a storyboard or a shot list, for instance. If I give it the data, and I have done before, to just lay it out for me, it's just little admin tasks like that, and it doesn't really apply to just video.
Makes your job easier.
Yeah.
But doesn't take away the creativity.
No, of course, because the idea is already there. I'm just saying to it, right, just put this in the table for me, and it does it.
But eventually, surely you're going to be able to get an AI to edit your video.
Sure.
Do you edit this in a similar way every video you shoot, or is every single edit, do you do something completely different?
Well, you would surely
but
be different, wouldn't it?
No, but the base of it, colour correction, make sure the shots are straight, and all that stuff. If you could put that into an AI, it would spit it out, and you've done.
Colour correction has already been auto-colour correction has been a thing for years.
Okay.
Adobe Premiere Pro has it, and it has gotten a lot better over the years. I personally don't use it because, again,
so you manually colour correct?
I do.
Right. Okay.
You sound like your dad.
No, I was just I was just curious.
However, there is a company who have produced a tool called Autopod, and basically what it does is, after all this is done, I take the footage on the cameras, all the audio, and I clip it all together. I then assign, say if I have 3 cameras, for instance, right? So I've got wide and 2 other, one camera there, one camera there. I can assign who's talking to what point, and I press go, and the AI will use the audio track to see who's talking and cut to the relevant camera angle at that time. And I'm not even joking, there's a clip out there, I'll put it on the screen if I can find it, where the timeline, which goes like this, as if almost if it's scanning it, and instantly chops it all up. It's a starting point, it's not the finished product. But
there is benefits, is what you're saying.
So I've got a thing. It's just come to my, when you mentioned the other day. So I've just pulled this up on my laptop now. The Apprentice. They did a task the other day to create a AI pop star. Now the end product was all AI, and apparently this is now becoming quite a popular thing across the world. There's now, you've got these AI pop stars. You've got Alan Sugar, that is literally AI singing a song, and now they created this in a matter of days. I think it's run on the task for The Apprentice. So if they can pull this off in days with an AI studio, do you still see this as, they can pull this stuff off? They can hold concerts.
Yeah, but you look at that picture of Alan Sugar there. If you know something that was Alan Sugar, it might just be something.
Oh, that's a whole other thing though. Yeah, AI profile pictures. What a joke.
Yeah, right. Okay. We're not quite on there. We're not quite on there for the way it comes across. But the music is generated by AI.
Yes, that's been something from the very start. Like I think it was Drake who took someone to court because they'd used a sample of his voice from AI, because it wasn't him, but someone had used AI to basically replicate Drake's voice into a feature.
Yeah, that happens quite a lot.
Yeah.
But this is what I'm saying. If the industry, like the pop industry, the music industry, is at threat from this, then surely your industry, our industry, is it an opportunity? Is an opportunity for you maybe in your sort of admin task and to speed up your work? But I think AI is really a threat in most industries, surely.
I still don't see it as, like, maybe I've just...
Look, when I pass Tesco's and I see you there, right?
So what you're
was it
saying
an opportunity or was it a threat?
You're that confident in your abilities, AI you don't see as a threat currently. Is that what you're saying?
Not currently, no, because
Right.
so OpenAI put a tool out there
Called Jordan.
I was just about to say, was it you?
I can't remember what it was called.
Might have touched a nerve there.
Plot twist, Jordan's AI.
Jordan.ai, buy that domain.
Yeah, I can't remember what it was called now, but it hasn't been released to public yet. But there's a tool that OpenAI released last year, and it was generating footage that looked like semi-real, but it still had its imperfections. And you know, it's great because it's all like, you know, the sort of thing you look at stock footage for. I mean, Adobe have Firefly, which is, I think it's Firefly, where you can make amendments to, I think it's videos now. Like there was something at their conference they'd done either last year or the year before, where they managed to remove a tie off someone in a video clip and you couldn't notice the difference. But I don't think we'll ever be at the point where I'm not having to go into a business because I've got their LinkedIn headshot and I can email them going, right, Steve, what do you want to talk about today? I want to talk about cybersecurity, and then send him over a minute video in 30 seconds, because for me that takes away the whole purpose of having someone behind the business. Some industries it might, and maybe I'm sat here saying it's not a threat because I'm not in that industry, but in at least the sector I'm in at the moment doing the corporate stuff, I don't see any sort of world where in the next 5, 10, even 10 years where my job's going to be under threat because of some computers.
He's a brave man.
Yeah.
The AI is watching.
I agree. I do agree. I don't think anything's going to come and sort of take over yet. I don't. But I don't think it's as long as 10 years. You've got people around the world.
We've got jetpacks, man. Like, come on, we've got hover shoes. Like, we've got all this stuff.
Mate, I've
that's
got
all happened in the last 5 years.
I've got a fridge in my house that orders food for me. Like, do you know what I mean? Like, it tells you when it's empty. Like, this is the world we're stepping into now. Like, and it's just. I don't think it's as far off as you think it is. I don't. Obviously, I'm in my late 30s, so hopefully it comes and takes over after I'm done. But I will head the resistance up when it comes to AI.
It's Ethan's problem.
Head the resistance.
AI, I think it's a powerful tool. Do I think we're ready for it yet as the world? I don't. I think there's so much carnage in the world as it is. Do we really need to introduce something like AI? Do you know what I mean? We can't agree on anything around the world. So bringing that in without any constraints, I think is dangerous. So this is our 150th take of this outro. I think my eldest is now 20. So we're going to wrap it up here. I'd just like to say thank you for everybody who's kind of tuned in and watched. These are our opinions and no other people's opinions. We've got to wrap this up because what you don't see off camera is Leela's going to start throwing stuff at us. So we have to get this done. And this is Jordan's 150th take. So here next month.
Next month.
Hopefully.
Yeah. Please follow. Check out our Instagram. Check out any other socials that you see us on. Hopefully some big announcements come next week, from what I'm told. So we can keep this going and chat absolute rubbish for 30, 40 minutes, dependent. But yeah, thank you all. You enjoyed it?
I've enjoyed this part. I've got to cut all the other stuff out though, so we'll see.
Yeah, you've got to edit it all.
Brilliant. Yeah, thank you all.